Marriage is not boring. You are the boring team. Are you going to kill Wanjiku? That we are jealous people, and it is not a demon. Where are you old? For the last 20 years, the only style you and your husband use is missionary. That is evil. Shame on you. You will be left with your oldness. He will go get the young one and she'll dress it for him. Hi, my YouTube family. Welcome on set today. The topic of today is intimacy that continues to destroy the union of marriage. Welcome on set. Are really outside the topic because there is room for change, of improvement after watching this video. Kindly have a sit down. Kindly have a candid discussion. Discussions cost nothing. And both of you be civilized, both of you be grown up, both of you swallow your pride. Irregardless of how much you have hurt each other, sit down and see whether you can mend that which was broken. So there is no need of you as a man saying we are getting old, or you as a woman, your husband is even offering, can you, sweetheart, can we just go out tonight? Can we go out for dinner outside, eat outside, let's go out. On a weekend, sweetie, let's go for dancing. And you're busy there saying, oh, I've been working the whole week, I'm tired. Hey, Baba Mbogwa, can't you see we are getting old? You as a woman, if you have that mentality of telling your husband you're getting old, let me repeat for the last time. Do not blame him when you hear he has somebody else. Don't blame him. You as a woman has destroyed your marriage. And you as a man, when your wife keeps on telling you, I'm bored, when you married me to stay in the house, when you married me to be a chef, when you married me to be a cook, when you married me to be a house help, all that we can employ people to do. Your husband is, see, he's working, yes, he can afford a house girl. Friday nights, let it be a night for you and your husband. Going out, why should he go out alone? Why should he go out alone? And it's important to have this discussion. Wives, ask your husband, why can't you go out? You keep on going out every weekend. Why can't we go out together? Is it because I'm not dressed well for that occasion? Can you show me how to dress well for that occasion? Is it my looks? What do I need to change? And maybe when you start having this conversation going, then he will tell you the reason why. I've also had cases where the man will take the wife out. Then the wife, her work is a CID. So when they are out, she's just monitoring the women who are looking at the husband, who are saying hi to the husband, who are complimenting to the husband. And I can tell you, most women who go out alone at night, and especially single women, they're very vicious. And some of them even have vendettas, outright vendettas. And I've had this, and I have had, even when I was married, I saw that, although it is me who was taking out people out. And still there were women who would come with vendetta to show me that I can get him. And the man will enjoy in your face. So it is very important. It's very important when your husband offers to take you out. Just close your eyes. But also become vicious. I'm the one with the ring. Yes, I'm the first lady. Yes, I'm the girlfriend. Yes, I'm the wife. And he has chosen me, not you, to take me out. So also when they are stamping their foolishness, stamp your authority and your possession. But I didn't tell you to go fight. So dress, you know the way they say dress, really dress. And also do your homework. When you're being taken out, it's important to check the environment. How are these vicious women? What do they have that I don't have? So if it is dressing up your game, if actually dress better, smell better, prepare better, that even when your husband is walking, your boyfriend is walking with you inside that restaurant, inside that dance floor, wherever he's taking you out, all the heads are turning. And even you as a woman, you'll feel, yes, I have arrived. So nobody can really try to anger you or to try and make you angry that I can get even your man or something. No, nobody should do that. So don't become a CID when you're taken out. And then after your entire investigation, the entire night, you didn't even enjoy the night, on your way home, you're complaining. I didn't like the way the girl was looking at you. Of course, you're women. We will always ropoka. We will try to hold it in and then we'll burst. Yes, I didn't like the way she hugged you. Who is she? What's her name? So when you go out alone, this is the woman you hang around with. You know what your husband will do? Next time, there is no invite. There is no invite. You will wait until Jesus comes back. No more invite. Yeah, because now he's worried next time I take you, then maybe you met Stacy, then your husband knows Wanjiko is the craziest one, and they have nothing. Then Wanjiko shows up and comes and even pulls him, he wants to dance with him. Are you going to kill Wanjiko? Are you going to kill Esther? Are you going to strangle whoever and lock the gate every Friday with a padlock and tell him you're not going out? Yeah, so we need to hold our cool even when we are wives, and I know we are born jealous, and I will tell you one of the most jealous women is talking to you right now, because yes, if we have committed to a man, we were created the same way we say men are visual, even women, they are extremely possessive of what belongs to them, and we know how to guard jealously. So that is our nature, that also men, you need to understand. The same way we understand your visuals is the same way you need to understand that we are jealous people, and it is not a demon. That is our nature. That is how we were created. The minute you show love, you give us the love that you were given by the Almighty God to give us, and we receive and become, I can assure you we are going to guard it with everything we have. So do not say this is the last time I'm taking you out. Actually, you should appreciate that screaming in the car. It's not screaming or complaining. Why was she looking at you like that? I saw the way she smiled. You know, we even notice things which are not there. Sometimes we even imagine, maybe she was even smiling at something else. But just because I am with my man and she was looking that direction, oh, he was smiling at him. You know, we were created that time. And for men, this should also give you, instead of making you angry and vowing I'm not taking you out next time, you should actually be happy. Because if your wife doesn't show any concern, that is serious. Actually, in one word, she left. She lefted. She lefted. Not even the thought of we are enduring. She left. She left you long time ago. And that's why whatever you do will never bother her. She let go completely. So you're just living. So when you see her screaming so jealously, throwing tantrums because of jealousy, you should be very happy. Yeah? All you need to do is just let her throw her tantrums. When she comes down, you already know. You already know she's yours. She wouldn't be throwing a tantrum if. Actually, that is the moment you're supposed to hold her and kiss her. And those tantrums will just melt away. And for men, let me tell you something else. Resolving a conflict with your wife, with your girlfriend, is very easy. I think most men are just too egoistic. They know it's easy, but they just want to keep the fire burning, so that you have excuses to be going out alone because mmekosana or you're angry, you know. So let it not be a game. To end a conflict is very easy. To end a complaint because your wife is jealous is very easy. You just need to hug her, kiss her, and I'm telling you that mouth will not talk again. Try it. She will not talk. Ataenda kufungua mdomo, anapewa kiss, ananyamaza. Anaenda kufungua mdomo, alikuwa mwanamke, that woman was looking at you, ananyamaza. It is that easy. Because now you are reassuring her, I don't care who was looking at me. I don't care who smiled at me. I don't care who greeted me. I don't care who hugged me. To them, they're just strangers there or friends out there. I have you. You are my interest. I took you out. And next time, take her out again to also reassure these other women who are trying to joke around with you, she's the one. This is the queen of my heart. Period. And it is that simple. Very, very simple. And for women, do not over-exaggerate things. Don't exaggerate, and especially in this day and age we are living. You know what is happening out there? There are also very vicious women. There are also very crazy women. And there are also women who go out there with ulterior motives, bad mindset to just go wreck and destroy. Some of them even do not have the interest of the man. They are not even interested. They just want to spoil a good thing, right? So it's important for women now, both, I've talked to both of you to really understand there is no reason as to why you shouldn't be going out. There is no reason whatsoever. So rekindle that old fire, your youthful fire. What you two used to do, don't stop it. Don't stop it, don't stop it, don't stop it, don't stop it. And you're not old. Because if you're walking with your own 2 feet and nuja, and you have not even started carrying a support system to walk, to aid you in your walking, where are you old? And actually, let me ask you, I'll pose this question, and I would really want to read your comments. Where are you old? And I'm not trying to be naughty. Where are you old? So let's seize that statement of we are old. We are getting old. And remember the power of your tongue. And that's why you will live to see people are in their 50s, 60s, and they look like they've just started their 30s. And you look at people at the same age bracket, and they look like they're in their 90s. The question is why? Don't say stress. It is also what you carry in your brain, what you speak, what you surround yourself with. Just because your children are in college now, you have branded yourself old. That is the time now to go back to your closet. Or if you don't have shoes there, dancing shoes there, go buy them and get your groove back. You're no longer breastfeeding. You're no longer taking children to school. Now it is time to rekindle that youthful fire with your man again. Yeah? So marriage works. That is what I would want to tell you. And this one thing that is actually intimacy, let it not wreck the union of your marriage at all. I've also taught in the past, let me say this actually, before I say what I have taught in the past. That sentiment I made of we are getting old, if you realize that you have reached this point and you don't feel like you want to try anymore, I'm saying kindly use your last energy. And this cannot come from one side. It can't come from the wife only. It can't come from the man only. You need to have a sit down and agree whether you really want to salvage that union of marriage. Because remember, by the end of the day, where you have reached that point, one of you is lying to the other. You're saying you're old, but one of you is enjoying their lives to the fullest. And you realize as women, and as I've said in the past, you will be left in the house, but the man will always be going out. And you will ask yourself, why is he finding so much happiness outside, not inside? Because your intimacy, the fire, is out. There is nothing to come home for. There is no fun. You don't sit around the fire, chat, laugh, make jokes, running around, dancing, any nice thing that a couple should do. There is nothing in that union of marriage. It is coming, food is ready, hot water is ready, go shower, eat, go sleep. One looks in the north, the other one in the south, and life moves on. And the only sentiment you tell each other, we are getting older, or we are old. So what is there in that home? What is there? There is no friendship, there is no companionship, there is nothing. Why are you still together? Why are you still sleeping in the same bed? Why are you still sleeping in 2 separate beds in the same house? Why is one in the guest room, the other one in the bedroom? And you're still calling yourself couples, going to functions, pretending that you're still together. Hypocrisy of the highest order. And I can assure you, it is so much alive in the churches. Out there, you want to give a show. And you can even give talks. Oh, marriage works. Come to your house, you're sleeping in 2 separate beds. Oh, marriage is great. Oh, we've been married for 40-something years. Where is your bed? Guest room. Your husband, servant quarter, or in the main bedroom. When was the last time you cuddled, you touched, you hugged, you kissed? You can't even remember. But marriage works. 40, 50, 60 years. It doesn't matter. It's not a trophy. And you're not shouting out there how it works to get a medal. You're not shouting out there to get any appraisals. Okay, people will cheer who do not know. But if rapture was to happen like that time, would you really go to heaven? Actually, the congregation you are preaching to, they will lead you to heaven as you go to hell. Because you're a hypocrite. And today I felt we needed to really candidly talk about this because it is happening. It is happening even today. Now, conversations we've had with women the day before yesterday. We have had conversation last week, last month, same conversations. And we are still lying out there. You're a married couple. Remember, I taught in the past one of the videos, and I've said, like, especially the beginning videos, I call them my amateur videos. The first videos, they had very deep teachings from the scriptures. And we proved and confirmed that love can sustain the union of marriage. You remember that topic. For those who have not watched, please scroll down and start watching all the things I have taught about love from the scripture. Yeah, what the Bible actually says about love. And what love really is in the union of marriage. And you realize that love can sustain the union of marriage. And remember, we have taught here that the man gives love to the woman. The woman becomes and manifests that love. So if the woman is manifesting and becoming that love, how will it die? This is an express image of that love that she's partaking from the husband. The husband is always giving. And remember, there is no way that a man can wake up and say, I don't have love. They were created with that love to give to the woman. The minute he wakes up and he says that he has nothing for you anymore, it means that love has been carried and taken elsewhere. It has to be somewhere. Somebody is receiving it on your behalf. Now the question is, what happened for both of us to reach here? And the number one thing, intimacy stopped. Yeah? And that's why I'm saying we are going to have a part 2, which will be deeper now. And we are going to talk real things. And I'm not going to sieve or say T words or we are not going to talk about. We are going to really dig deep inside. Because we are going to even discuss that for the last 20 years, the only style you and your husband use is missionary. For the last 20-something years or 30-something years, the only style you know is, nowadays I hear kuna kifo ya mende, the legs up. That's it. There is nothing else. So this, I will call it my next topic because we need to have this discussion. And remember, we are saying men are visual. And let's not lie to ourselves, even we women. We have our own fantasies. There are things that we really would want to have done or seen, but we never got that opportunity. Maybe you got married to a narcissist. He's the dictator. You know, there is this I would want to exercise, that can groove in the bed. You have nobody to do it with. Yeah? So you are there enjoying it in your dreams. It will never leave your dream world. From the day you got married, year 10, 20, 30, it is in your dream world. It will never be presented. Same case to men. Women can persevere because they want to keep their union of marriage. But the men are like, oh, never. 10 years, the same thing. Even 10 years will be long. He will go and do it elsewhere. Exercise it. Bring his dreams to reality with somebody else. And that's why you see the holier than thou woman of cloth, when they later cut the husband out there with a woman, it is not a woman of the cloth. It's a very sexy woman. A woman who dresses showing every curve of her body, because these are the desires the man has always wanted to have. But you see now they have not had this conversation. They're never open. That's why I use the term hypocrisy. Hypocrisy in the union of marriage. This man knows what turns him on, but he will never discuss it with the wife. The wife knows what drives her crazy. but she will never have that opportunity to present to the husband. You see? So those desires keeps eating you up, eating you up. By the end of the day, one of you decides, let me retire and take, we normally say, you take your jembes back to the hanger, you go hang them. You hang your boots, you're done, because you never got to use your boots. And then the other party will like, oh, I still have the groove on. He starts going out there at the age of the 50s and 60s. And by the end of the day, you hear a 70-year-old man has gotten married again. Ask yourself, before reprimanding that man, ask yourself why. Because every desire he needed was never executed. This woman has left and gone and gotten a younger man. Before you reprimand the woman, and especially the woman, it's like he has actually done the worst. Because when men marry younger women, it's not a problem. But when a woman marries a younger man, oh, it's abomination. But you never sit to ask yourself, after all these years, why? Because she never brought out her desires. She never exercised her desires. She never had this person she would be open. She would open up herself to, you know. And that is when now that marriage failed. Or this woman waited until the husband died. Then she decided, oh, it is time now to get what I've always desired, I've dreamt, I've wanted, you know. So let's not wait until there. There is time to salvage the union of marriage, and more so, the most important part, the intimacy bit. Because this is the glue that will keep you united together, keep the fire burning. You know, this is the main thing that makes you one. And the minute you become one, it's like one can never leave itself. It can never leave itself. So marriage can still be salvaged. And if you two think, as I'm talking today, maybe it's a man listening or the wife listening, and you feel it is not done, it's not over yet, something can be done, let's start with a conversation. Start with a conversation. Yeah? Men, it's important to ask your wife, do I satisfy you? The way I do to you, is it okay? What else would you want me to do? And you women, when your men open up, it is very rude for you not to respond, or for you to, yes, women are shy. The man will understand when you're shy, but try to express yourself. He's also vulnerable. He's opening up to you for him to understand what makes you happy, what makes you enjoy the act, what drives you crazy. So when he starts asking you, tell him. Men, don't be domineering all the time in bed. It is fun. Most of us women love that. Wants tigers, lions, kings. You are the kings anyway, any day. But sometimes leave that door for her to do what she wants with you. Allow her to be herself. Maybe you love this, you know all the styles. She knows the styles you like because you have been exercising them. Remember, you are the leader. But now ask her, what would you want? Is there something else you have learned, you have heard from your friends, or is there something would you want us to experiment? So it is not always kifo cha mende for 40 years. It is not missionary for 40 years. Experiment. Actually laugh about it when you experiment something that backfires. That is the fun in it. Yeah? So like, we're not going to try that one again. Oh, it failed badly. You know, that's a conversation. That keeps you together. That one, you remember how it failed and you're laughing the whole day, chatting each other up. And now planning for the evening of another experiment to undertake. And you're laughing about it because you know it might backfire as well or whatever. That keeps you together. Keep the fire burning. Yeah? So there is nowhere written in the Bible that intimacy is evil, or when you start thinking wild with your wife, with your husband, it's a crime, it's a sin that when rapture happens, you'll die. Then I'll ask, why did you get married? Why did God create the union of marriage? And please don't tell me it's to have children. Yeah. Because it means you have not read your Bible as yet. And this is the kind of foolishness that had even been engraved in some tribes. that a woman just needs to be married to have children. And that is why you saw that we have learned in the past why they used to mutilate, I call it mutilating women, so that they don't enjoy it. But you, the man, you're supposed to enjoy. You know, that is selfishness. Okay? So it is there to be enjoyed. It is there to keep your marriage on fire. It is there to unite you. It is there to, let me tell you, intimacy is everything in the union of marriage. It keeps you happy. It gives you peace. It gives you rest. And especially the rest bit. Yeah? It gives you, the pleasure itself is medicinal. It's therapy, you know. It has all the best benefits. So get your intimacy back in your union of marriage. Maybe something else I would want to say in my closing. I mentioned you get your intimacy back, get your fantasy from your dream. Let it not exist in your mind anymore. It wasn't created to be in your dreams. It wasn't created in your mind. Execute them now, and you have your partner to execute it with. Husbands, open up for your wife to be free, vulnerable with you. Wives also, don't be too rigid. You know, open up for your husband to feel they're in a free space where they can execute whatever they want, whatever they have dreamt about, whatever desires they have in their minds, whatever wild, crazy acts they want. Let him tell you. May you do it together. Because if you, as the woman, you keep saying, I'm old, if you keep on saying that I'm not able, that is too much. I've had crazy things, how men are trying to open up to their wives and they're like, oh, that is evil. And I'm sitting and thinking, he will go out there and do it with the woman who will not call it evil. And then tomorrow, please don't cry as a woman that you have been left or you have been brought another woman as a second wife. Because you said it's evil. You said it is only missionary. That is the only thing which is not evil. Anything else is evil. So I sit to wonder, when do you draw the line between good and evil? Can you define evil and good? And what is evil in the matrimonial bed? And I will repeat again, the same scripture tells us there is time for everything. So this other something, when is it supposed to happen? You know? Communication. I've said let's get our fantasy back, our dream from our minds. Let it not now come from the mind. Let it cease from being in our mind. Because the more it stays in our minds and our fantasy, that is what is wrecking the union of marriage. Because by the end of the day, one of the parties will say to hell with this. And they will go and bring out now to reality with somebody else. Because you did not give them that platform to execute what they needed to execute with you, right? So now communication. Communication is key. Communication of what you like and what he likes. So me as a woman, what do I like in the bedroom, in bed? You as a man, what do you like in bed? It is very important. Let us have this communication. I have had young people saying sexting, dirty, whatever they call it. Yeah, remember even back in your time, there were those communications. What happened? Why did they stop? And now that you are a night 10, why has it stopped? Why is it stopping? You as the husband, even if you go to work, why don't you sexting, whatever, send those beautiful texts to your woman? She's your wife. It is not a sin. And you women, and especially you born again women, the minute your husband is trying to lead you on and you are saying, stop, that is evil, shame on you. That's the much I can tell you. I have heard this is what some women are doing. And then you're brought a very nice lingerie and you're like, God forbid, I won't wear that. That is evil. Can't you see we are old? You will be left with your oldness. He will go get the young one and she'll dress it for him. And by the end of the day, A second wife will come knocking, and there is nothing you will do about it, because you as a woman now, in your ignorance, in your foolishness, you have ended your union of marriage. This man was trying to open up. Sometimes a man will come and tell you, oh, I bought you this cologne because he smelt it, he saw it somewhere, or maybe this is what he likes, and he has no way of trying to tell you buy it. So he will go bring you, and you're like, hey, this one is skunk, this cologne. Anything a man brings you, women, don't open your mouth very fast. Oh, you spell it where? Oh, it's because the way you're becoming late, that woman wears that. You will be left. You will be lefted. Let me put it that way, so that you clearly get it. So when the man brings you that dress, that shoe, don't talk. When he brings you that cologne, it's because he knows what arouses him. And if you cease to arouse him, he will get somebody else to do that. So these conversations have to happen. These discussions have to happen between the husband and the wife to keep the marriage. Let's not say marriages are boring. Marriage is not boring. You are the boring team. You are the boring team. Marriage has never been boring. You are the one who are boring each other. And you need to stop it. And for me, I normally say I'm not a pastor. So I'll tell you, if both of you have a conversation and it ain't working, walk. Bless each other and move on. But if you know that it is working, and I will say that in all honesty, instead of living in hypocrisy, which majority are, especially Christians, walk, bless each other, move on. But if you think after this conversation that really something can happen in this union of marriage, please have a sit down. Please swallow your pride. Have this conversation. I still feel you're attractive to me. I still feel I need you in my life as my wife. You woman, wife, tell your husband, you're still attractive to me. And I still feel that we can do something. If only we can change this and this. Man, listen to what your wife tells you. And you, wife, listen what your husband tells you. And if he starts telling you things that you need to change as a woman, don't start blaming him. Telling him, oh, it's because the other woman is doing that to you. Now you're coming to compare me with him. He is just trying to tell you who he is and what he likes. The same way you have the right to tell him what you like and what you want to see and what you want to hear, right? So you both swallow your pride, forget the hurtful things you have done to each other. Don't be angry when you're having this sit down. Be sober, be very mature. And now if really, really, really you want to make that marriage work, have that discussion and let it not end at the discussion point. Execute it. And that fire will come back, right? Go out together, have fun together. Christians also go out. Christians also have fun. Yeah? It is not devil chasing Monday to Monday. Even the Bible itself has told you there is time for anything. And let me remind you on my next part B of this discussion. And let me remind you there is a scripture of the books of Solomon. Go read it. Now you'll understand when I tell you there is time for everything. Why is it in the Bible? Because it's telling you what I'm telling you today. There is time for everything. Women, listen. Those who have been married for 30, 40 years, listen. There is time for everything. Men, you're having your fun there out. You don't want your wife to have it because we are getting old. You, when you're jumping your legs out there with those younger women, you're not old yet. But her, she's old. Have you told her to do what you need done and she has failed? If she has not failed, then there is no need for you to go out there. But if she felt tired, then you, woman, you have no right to stop your husband from doing whatever he wants to do. But before it gets there, discussion. That discussion is what will tell you whether we can move on together or we need to go on our separate ways. Right? Okay. So communication is very important as a wind up. Also, try new things. You know, it's very important to spice up the union of your marriage. And we are talking about intimacy. So today we are not getting out of the bedroom. Learn to spice up. Learn, try new things. New things. And new things, I mean everywhere. If your children are no longer in your home, it's you and your husband. You are two of you in the house. There is nothing, that's your house. There is nothing you cannot experiment. There is nowhere you cannot get it. And you understand what I'm talking about. It's not only confined in that bed. Try new things. What you may call crazy, fun, laughter, especially, when it backfires, you just laugh it out. That is the time to experiment, try new things, things you have imagined. Some things have never even been done. Be the first creators. You're the only two of you. You're the ones who know it will work or it won't work. Then you laugh about it the next day, you know. That brings you together. Men, don't ever forget the game that got you this girl. Don't forget. Learn to remind her every single day, and not with your mouth, with your actions. Perfect the art. And your youthfulness is forever, because your youthfulness is in your mind. What you put in your mind is what manifests physically. So I hope this is a starting point of getting you thinking, my family. And I know many of the women are hurting. And I forgot to mention something very important. You have heard women saying that intimacy is very painful. Sometimes intimacy makes them bleed, you know. They're not looking forward to it. And after my research, I learned it's because they were not prepared. You're living with a narcissist husband. He has insulted you the entire day for nothing. He's went to work, and by the time I was leaving, he slapped you for nothing. Then he comes in the evening. You have served him. He has insulted you. He has hit you for nothing. He has eaten your food. You have put water for him there to shower. Then at night when you're going to bed, he just turns you, pins you down, and does it. You're not psychologically prepared. Down there, women, you know what I'm talking about. You lock. So what happens? It's just pain. Why? You are not prepared. So by the end of the day, you find these women, they're enduring in the union of marriage. By the end of the day, these men will also get bored because they are doing it. And in most cases for narcissists, I think it's intentional. They are doing it so that they can blame their wives how boring you are in bed. You're ever crying. It's ever painful. You're ever bleeding. You're not even romantic. And you wonder how should that woman be romantic after what you're doing to her. So that now this narcissistic kind of man gets a reason to go out. And you know, in most cases, the clothes, the word they normally use is, it is you, because of you. All this is because of you. All this is because of you. All this is because of you. He's out there with another woman. And then when you catch him cheating, you call the family, he will come and say, yeah, but you see, in the bedroom, there's nothing. She's ever screaming and crying and doing all sorts of things. But you're not realizing you never prepared her. You never did prepare her. So let's get thinking. Let's salvage the union of marriages that can be salvaged. Kindly men. It all starts with you. It all boils down to the men. Remember, you are the leaders. Remember, you are the kings of the family. If really you don't want to lose that woman, start from there. Have a discussion. See whether it can work or it's not work. Then move on. If it won't work, release her. The same way you have moved on, allow her to move on. But if it can work, both of you have a sit down, listen to each other, then pick up the pieces and move on. And it will be beautiful. It will be wonderful. And I believe two people, when they are willing to make something work, it will work. Not one person, two people. If you're willing to make something work, it will work. Let's start with intimacy. Let's start with love language, men. Yeah? Let's love with those sweet, wonderful, sexy gestures, looks, you know, smiles, texts, phone calls, and see what happens. It is magical. It is wonderful. And until next time, keep subscribing. Please watch my videos. kindly share, kindly subscribe, and I would really, really, really love to read your comments. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, and until next time. And we're going to have a part 2 of this, don't forget. So look forward to it, because it will be a bit deeper, and there we will even have to even mention scriptures, so that you understand there is time for everything. Until next time, see you on the next set.